So I'm Alexander Gianni. It's 3:58, August 31st. This is another tactic these terrorists are performing. Um, I got them all in the right hand penguin duck birthmark. If you don't see that on someone's hands, it's not their video. A duck, a little swan, a little blotch. So, doesn't matter. Regardless, yeah. So one of their tactics is these guys are in deep shit, desperate than a motherfucker. Pardon my French, but they're so desperate it's scary. Some of mother, their fathers, their friends, they're robbing their friends, they're robbing their parents. That's how desperate they are. They're robbing them in a gambling ring. So these guys are desperate. Some of these guys are supposed law enforcement agents and blackmailing U.S. citizens they're supposed to protect. So there's a lot of desperate motherfuckers involved with this. Pardon my French. But so this is key. So a piece of their hustle is they're trying to recruit as many people possible to their terrorist organization in RICO with limited information, leaving out the part that, for example, that it's a terrorist organization, or leaving out the part that they're being investigated for terrorism in RICO. And so while people are spinning their wheels and, I don't know, trying to figure out what to do, these guys are recruiting people to their terrorist organization in RICO with limited information. And so people think they're going to get rich or be paid or gambling ring. It's not friendly, and that's involved in a big time RICO and illegal weapons manufacturers are trying to operate with strength in numbers and trying to recruit as many people as possible so they can try to stick it to the government and create as big a headache as possible for the government. Because some people may be being pulled into stuff with limited information, not knowing these guys are using WMDs in space, or not knowing these guys are running around with implantation weapons and committing espionage and economic espionage and other terrorist acts. So they're trying to mix unsuspecting people into their mix with terrorists and mafia entities and associates in the mix. So that's a piece of this. So they're recruiting people to all sorts of jazz, a war against the government. They're all pretending to be robbed by the government. They're recruiting people to wars against X, Y, and Z, and they're just making shit up to a lot of people, not telling them they're the evildoer, they're the terrorists, they're the RICO, they're the mafia. And they're pulling potentially unsuspecting people who may have clean records into something with limited information. They're the RICO, they're the mafia. And they're pulling potentially unsuspecting people who may have clean records into something with limited information, promises of being made a billionaire, God knows what else. And they're really trying to create a government headache and then kind of set them up in a terrorist organization in RICO to where they have to suffer too. So someone should put a public service announcement out in the press, inform that people don't join any of these people claiming to be the Illuminati, don't join any of these people trying to recruit you to a war with the U.S. government. Don't trust any of these people trying to give you stolen intellectual property or recruit you to friendly gambling rings. They're terrorists and they're involved in RICO and they're under investigation for terrorism in RICO. And they're trying to recruit people to create a headache for governments around the globe. So someone should spread the word. Praise Jesus. Because they're probably pulling in innocent people who aren't affiliated with their past behaviors. And they're unsuspecting, and they'll cover up the implantation weapons, the satellite weapons, the betting manipulation, terrorists, the murderers, the rapists, etc. So key point.